Hydra here. Today I want to impart a valuable lesson. Do not sleep on Magician's Red. Not only is it incredible in combat with a big variety of attacks, but it can also help you play the game in many ways because it has a lot of utility powers. But more importantly, it cooks the hardest. That is to say, if you open a furnace, you'll see this new icon appear, and clicking it lights it up. So as long as you're there to physically maintain it, you can smelt at no cost. Most of your abilities create a special kind of fire called stand fire. Unlike ordinary fire, it's invisible to players who don't have a stand and penetrates armor. It still spreads and burns things, and can even be upside down. It comes in a number of colors based on your stand's skin, and every color has a unique burning visual in first person. Now you have to understand that stand fire is your friend. It extinguishes automatically when you or your pets walk over it. Even your mounts are safe, and you can instantly snap it all away by sneaking and pressing C. This even extinguishes mobs that catch on fire. So essentially you're safe to create and spread this fire whenever and wherever you want. You can even use stand fire to light TNT, make a temporary light source, or relight campfires like a flint and steel by holding sneak and pressing Z. Pressing Z uses your red bind ability. After winding it up, you create a lead out of fire and automatically attach it to a mob you're facing. And the cool part is, this lets you transport mobs you couldn't ordinarily place a lead on like a villager. At this point, you can either release them or left click to make them rise up into the air violently, like when Avdol used this ability on JoJo. This puts them in a temporary state where they're dazed and cannot attack you. You can also get one good hit in before they're released. Since red bind is very dangerous to be caught in, your opponent will have to interrupt or dodge your attack at all costs. You can also use the floating that red bind gives to push mobs you're transporting to higher elevations. It's quite useful. Blocking and pressing Z creates a life tracker that can detect mobs in its canonical 15-meter radius, so you can easily find a missing pet, tell what mobs are behind a wall, or detect that last illager in a raid. Magician's Red even has a unique mining animation. Now let's focus on the combat abilities. Its string of normal attacks are these red bind lashes that focus on range instead of strength. However, if you sneak and hold click, you wind up a powerful kick attack like the one Avdol defeated Judgment with. This gives you a great close range option which can knock foes back and chains well out of red bind. Since most of your stand's abilities are mid-ranged, this knockback is quite useful. The barrage of fireballs is fundamentally a knockback tool as well, and in this case, one that can be split up across multiple mobs on top of spreading stand fire. Sneaking and barraging unleashes the powerful flamethrower barrage that torches all mobs in front of you. And then we get to the iconic Crossfire Hurricane. Pressing X once begins charging, and pressing it again shoots it out. The longer you charge it, the stronger it becomes and the more flames it places down. So you should always aim for a full charge. Crossfire Hurricane comes in several flavors. If you press Z while holding a block, you can stuff a charged up hurricane into a block, and it will explode on whoever attacks the block. This is a reference to the statue scene, but it's not the most practical ability. On the other hand, if you press C, you can bury the hurricane into the ground for the underground flame, the move that defeats Polnareff. It travels towards the last target you attacked and explodes on contact. This is probably your best PvP move because you can attack while it's active and don't have to aim it. If you take too long to decide what you want to do with a hurricane, it will fizzle out. As in the prison scene, your stand also fizzles out when you swim in water or when rain touches it. The latter can actually be prevented though. All you have to do is press V to activate a massive Crossfire Hurricane and dry up the rain around you. This is a reference to the JoJo OVA, and just like in the OVA, the giant hurricane is not an attack. However, it does increase the strength of all your hurricane abilities in exchange for putting them on higher cooldowns, so it's a last-ditch effort. The embers of this giant hurricane always blow towards world spawn, so you can actually use this ability as a world compass. Sneaking and pressing X activates Crossfire Hurricane Special. This ability circles you in stand fire and makes 4 Crossfire Hurricanes swirl around you instantly. They can only be shot out normally and have a fixed size, but as a whole they are tremendously powerful and deal crazy knockback if fully unloaded onto your foes, and so it's best used to keep opponents who are approaching you away. This move has the longest downtime, so use it wisely. Sneaking and pressing V unleashes your final last-ditch effort, Maximum Flame Crash. This kamikaze attack funnels all of your stand flame into a powerful dive attack. It deals incredible damage and sets your enemies on fire for a really long time. If someone gets hit by this, it basically turns them into a statistic. However, it comes at the expense of sealing your stand, so you should only use it if you know it's going to kill. Otherwise, you might be the statistic. You can press guard or desummon your stand to cancel this ability. So in case you miss or just want to use it as a feint, you have that option, if you can stomach it going on a long cooldown. Blocking and pressing C burns all incoming projectiles, so if a skeleton shoots an arrow at you, you don't expend guard. Magician's Red also offers dash as well as ledge grab. Magician's Red has a ton of skins, and many of them actually change the colors of your flames, as I mentioned before. Skins have regular and ignited versions. The ignited ones are emissive and fizzle out in water as a nice visual tell. There's a blue ace skin in reference to JoJo vein, and Magician's Red's secret skin is corrupted by Dread. You can unlock it by naming a book Dread Beast or Chagaroth, then summoning your stand. Another JoJo vein reference. As you could probably see, when making the stand, I aimed to give it many offensive abilities, but also a great deal of utility, so it has a lot to offer in a playthrough. And if that's something you can appreciate, consider helping the project by supporting the channel. Leaving a like, commenting on the video, and subscribing will help give Roundabout more exposure. Roundabout's available to download right now on both CurseForge and Modrinth. So one last thing I want to talk about. There's a lot of enthusiasm around asking for new stands. Between CurseForge, YouTube, and Discord, I get asked around 10 times every single day. And while there's nothing wrong with posting these comments, to be fully transparent here, these comments are not influencing the order of development. So let me and the other devs cook, and you'll see all the great things that we have planned for the mod. I hope that everyone has an amazing day, and take care. Bye bye.